Alrighty, I never even realised what all this gangle of rubbish was. I think this here might be some sort of a, like a speedo sort of thing, like an RPM level setter or whatever. Oh, this is all looking a little bit bloody rough on it. That was all just bogged up with shit. It's been cleaned with petrol. There's a bolt that goes through there that goes basically right beside where the bung is for letting the oil out. And the son of a bitch snapped off, of course, when we undone it. But that's the fuel tank there. There's where your carburetor mounts. There's your cap, obviously. Air cleaner. Wasn't as bad as I thought. It's a little square one. It's not actually that dirty, but she backfired a couple of times by the looks of it. And here's your ridiculous ass carburetor. Now, that's your pipe there. That end rubber's alright, the one on the other end is just buggered basically. This screw fell out from one of the butterfly valves. I'm not even sure where it goes in, but I could see it inside. Yeah. That there goes on somewhere. I think it's that one there actually, that little... Anyway, she sucks through this from the bottom of the tank, and then there's a tiny little groove in there. It's actually right beside that it starts, and then it sort of curves around as part of the casting. There's a little hole there, and I think it's supposed to curve around and drip down from there, and then there's your jet that sucks it all through. And yeah, muck on the end of that, muck in the little cup, that sits in a little cup, and there's basically your gasket there. That's where your top of your tank is sitting. Well, that's the gasket still on the tank there. Sits there, and that's flush with that. And then you use a couple of screws to screw it down into the actual tank. Hey, like, look at this. Plastic piece. It's all melted to the shit house. The sides of it are all melted. Now, you think when they build something, they make sure the plastic is going to handle the temperature. Apparently not. But anyway, that's, I think that's the end that goes onto your, what's his name? Here's it go again. Oh, that's onto your engine. And under there, yeah, that one there, that melted bit of shit is one of your butterflies. And that goes onto your air cleaner. So yeah, it's the air cleaner like I was saying, but you also got a metal, you can't see a bit of solid metal underneath, and there's Allen key screws that screw that onto the engine somehow or some shit. And yeah, basically she's all lined up with there as it comes through, and then turns and gets your fuel and then goes through into your engine. And yeah, there's another butterfly somewhere. I think that's your, might be your choke, and that's your speedo or something. I forget how it all is anyway. It's not a terribly reliable, glorious bit of crap. Clean up day. Wiping stuff down. Just got these two pots left to clean. Might do that thing there while I'm thinking of it. It's pretty good, but I'll do it again anyway. Yeah. Give the frying pan a good clean all around the stove. It's good to have a good clean every once in a while. I'll have to get onto these plumbing shenanigans. Well, that's it. It looks like we're setting up an old garbage bin system or something for a shower. Piece of shit. You know, I've got the hot water system pretty tightly sandwiched towards the, what's his name? The side of the shower wall. Anyway, I was trying to get this thing in. I tell you what, Coleman needs somebody to go around there and shove a carrot right up their fucking ass. Honestly,
Now, so you've got a rubber O-ring and a chrome-plated, probably nickel-plated bit of pipe. And the rubber O-ring's inside, and you're supposed to slide it in, and this part's supposed to go into the rubber O-ring. And you've got this little rim around the edge of the outer side of this chromed pipe, and it's supposed to clip into that. Now, if you look closely, that clip is not pivoted. You see right there? It's not pivoted on a bit of wire or a bit of little chrome rod. It's pivoted on its own piss-ass friggin' 1.5 mil bit of plastic that is the same moulded plastic as where I'm putting my finger right now. Now, if you give this a little jiggle or a little shake, you know what happens. The chromed pipe and the rim in that chrome pipe stays solid, and this thing breaks its stupid little plastic pieces that are going through either side of the little holders there. Its pivot pieces just blow to bits because they're only plastic. Some cheap bastard decided instead of putting a bit of 2 mil wire through there, you know, hardened wire, that'd be better to make the whole thing plastic. And as soon as you give that a little tiny pull, a little jerk, bang, it blows to bits. And that little spring piece you can see there, a little bit of sheet metal, that's a spring, and that will just go flying. Like that'll be what propels it out, and the clip will fly out, and so will the spring. Well, I got this thing jammed in like a fucking sardine in against the shower, and I'm trying to get the bastard in, and I get it in. Then I go to put the little plug in. Fuck me. I'm going pushing, shoving for 5 minutes or so. I'm pretty certain from previous experience, for some reason I've always had the clip go side in like that, not above like that. And I'm pretty certain the dumb bastards have got this plug for your 6-volt plug here in a position that you can't get the fucking thing in because that clip is in the damn way, and you can't plug the son of a bitch in because it just will not fucking go in. It's alright if you got the thing sitting on a table, but I don't. I have it got right up in the air and up against the side of the shower, like I was saying. Anyway, all that didn't fucking matter, because in my efforts to try and push this in, the fucking plug snapped off. I shit you not, the water connection snapped off. Now, this is the one where I've had to buy this plastic piece, and because they're so tight asses with doing a bit of thread inside a bit of brass, I've got 3 rubber friggin' seal rings inside this. I'm not joking. It's like a rubber O-ring that just sits flat around the bottom of the brass. But because they couldn't put the fucking thread down far enough, I've got to have 3 of them just to make a water seal against this plastic fitting. But it didn't matter anyway, because, you know, I was just sitting there trying to get that blasted 6-volt plug in, and this thing just goes fucking like that. And I thought, you son of a bitch, you got to be joking. I didn't even put any pressure on it. What I reckon I've done, as I've gone and tightened this one up, putting this plastic piece into the brass one, it's basically fractured this. And that was 9 months ago. A little bit more wiggling and jiggling of the box that all this whole shitstorm was mounted in. There was a solenoid switch, 6-volt one obviously, that just basically comes directly onto there. And this went into the solenoid switch, which then goes into the regulator, which then just goes straight onto that pipe like that. And that's it, you know, $80 and all you got is a solenoid and a shitty regulator and fucking pipe fittings that aren't made properly, that snap off and don't have a deep enough thread to put another bloody fitting into to begin with. Along with the, you know, gloriously designed plastic heap of shit that they've saved, you know, on you know, what have we got here? 1/4 inch worth of fucking wire, you know, and designed so that you can't get your fucking plug in properly. Talk about fucking stupidity. I mean, you know, I don't know if these guys are joined up with the guys at Briggs and Stratton from Hard Economic Times or something, but I'll tell you what, they got a license to make tacky shit. I've never ripped open a regulator, so I'm going to rip this open just to understand a bit more about pressure regulators. I've got a bit of an idea in my mind, but I want to see how they actually assemble them. and no doubt this will be assembled like shit, like most Coleman things are. Anyway, looks like we might be going for the old... I'll be plugging the old one back in just for tonight, and tomorrow we're going to have a look at the real situation. Fortunately, I have a good heap of pipe coming in from the tap under the basin that fills it. I could have had the pipe fitting for that right out the front. I'll show you what we're looking at here. There it is there, sitting there. I don't think this light's going to make much difference. I've got a headset on, like a miner's lamp. That's a pipe there, hanging right down without a problem. Plenty of excess pipe, and I was going to have the box just sitting in here, you know, right in front of the shower stall, and the pipe thread could go back. Instead of putting it all in the back and being a nightmare, I've got enough pipe length that I was just going to plug it in here, and the box is just going to sit there. You know, might need a little bit of something extra jammed in there just to prop it, to give it a bit of a support, but, you know, it doesn't matter now anyway. That's actually the leads there that come through, so I'm going to have to reattach those. That's still, fortunately, inside the document tub there, and it's no big deal to actually stand inside the shower stall with my little fart ladder, there it is down there, and slip this straight in. I think I've stood in there without even a ladder and slip it straight back in. But there's something seriously wrong with this, because it leaks all the time, and I only turn it on as I'm filling up, as I'm actually in the shower, I turn it on to fill, but... yeah, this whole shitstorm, this is as bad as this bloody Briggs and Stratton pump, you know, everything is as flimsy as fucking shit, designed ridiculously bad just to save an extra 2 cents on manufacturing, you know, and the fixability of it is non-existent. It's a bit like all your American front-wheel drive cars. They don't build them to fix, they build them to sell. You know, it's all fine in the manufacturing process because they can do it reasonably easy then, but when you go to change your fucking clutch and you got to take your engine out to be able to change your fucking clutch, you know, or take your axles and all that shit off and take your transmission out from the bottom to fix a clutch, like, holy smoke, you know, that's American manufacturing. In Australia, we don't fuck people around like that when we make things. We make it, you know, all our vehicles, just about the whole lot of them, except the ones that aren't made in Australia, are rear-wheel drive, you know, and they're very easy to work on. You know, not 1,000,000% easy. I've seen easy European vehicles, but I know there's exceedingly hard European vehicles to work on that make American vehicles look terrible. But, you know, this thing, there's no doubt what country this is blooming originated from. Well, designed in anyway. Designed in America and built in China, and well, it's not as bad as dealing with a vehicle. That's only because there's not as many parts. That I'll tell you what, you know, I may have bought this, but it doesn't mean I have a great deal of trust in Coleman. Let's put it like that.